I'm a fiddle for a sec.
You can, yeah, fiddle. Hey, fiddle. Hey, some of my best nights started with fiddling.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
oh,
oh!
oh,
Look at that! Look at that! Before
oh,
I
look
show
at
the
that.
chat, man, that is some luscious, luscious hair.
Thank you.
Straight out of like Magnum PI. I'm dating myself with that TV show. Actually, they had a reboot, so I guess I'm not. Um,
They had a reboot?
I think they did, or they're going to.
They
Uh,
should cast me.
one or the
I'll
other.
do
Yeah,
that.
you could look and walk around Hawaii, right? Looking
Yeah,
debonair. Look at that luscious hair.
yeah.
I look at. So I got three daughters, and with the youngest one got lice today. So we had to
Yikes.
deal with that, and I'm just looking at your hair, going, it would fucking take us a week to deal with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that'd be rough.
Terrible. You don't want it. You know, my other question is: you ever get mistaken for Tyler Bate, the NXT wrestler? You know?
I have got that before, yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten, I used to get Jericho a lot, and then when he came around, I got him a lot. And there's someone else with a mustache. Back when I had short hair, I think it was that Jack Gallagher guy. I don't
Oh
know. I can't
yeah,
remember.
Jack Haller. Yes.
But then people call me Frank Gallagher, too, from Shameless. And I didn't watch Shameless, and I didn't watch WWE, so I'm just like, what's this guy's like? I knew like they're getting the wrestler's name wrong. I remember correcting fans like
Yeah.
his name is Jack, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Bunch of
But I have watched Shameless, and I do see it now, especially when my hair was shorter and I had the beanie on and shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. Hair's luscious. Mustache looks great. Who's more over, you or the mustache?
it's the mustache, man.
I
It's
think
always
so.
been the mustache. That's why I can't get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Um.
Yeah.
I was saying to Vanessa, who is the voice that you'll hear, my notes are all over the place today. I've been very busy. So I'll be jumping around. I apologize for that, but that's also what makes the show fun.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
you mentioned Jericho. Jericho, one of your favorite wrestlers growing up. Jericho, Kenta, Bryan Danielson, which I find an interesting trio because that's not you. Like that's not how
Yeah.
you work. What was it about them that drew you in? And yeah, what was it about those three?
I think it's just believability and like naturalism, which I think I do have a lot of in what I do, though my style isn't the same as Danielson or Kenta. I think there's aspects from it that are appealing to everybody, and I always liked the charismatic types like Jericho.
Right.
Uh, but then I was always interested in why someone like Kenta or Danielson, like what makes them stand out to me, where it's not necessarily my go-to like style of wrestling as a performer, but why can I like not stop thinking about what they do or like the reasons why they do what they do? Why does it work? How can you reappropriate some of those same ideas, but maybe in a more lighthearted or entertaining way? And I can do really cool stuff. I can go in there and beat the shit out of people, but that's
Right.
not that's not what my character is, you know. So it's not who I am as a person, you know. So it's like you got to tap into some sort of naturalism to make everything little a little better, you
Like
know, which is what they're
believability,
all really good at.
like
Yeah, yeah,
believability, like genuinism, if that's a word.
yeah. You kind of take out that step in your brain because you are performing, but like the least amount of steps you can take out of like, okay, how would my character react? You got to get it as close as you can as to you reacting without thinking. So you know, if I'm trying to play like a badass, you know, there's going to be those hesitations of like decision making and stuff. So I'm just kind of more tapped into a lightheartedness just because that's who I am. And that's how I can get the most natural and immediate organic reactions, I think.
Um, Character driven. I definitely see that, especially in the Jericho side.
Mm-hmm.
Character driven.
Yeah.
That's you in a nutshell. One of my favorite things about you in prepping for the show are your promos. They're
Yeah.
just top notch. We've talked to we talked to other wrestlers with this same character driven, almost comedy style wrestling, comedic
Mm-hmm.
wrestling. Some people like it, some people don't. Would you even consider yourself a comedy wrestler?
I don't consider myself
Okay.
a comedy wrestler at all. I think my wrestling character is that I'm a guy who thinks he's funny.
Right.
but I don't think that I'm a comedy wrestler.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like me and Megabyte Ronnie always describe it as we're wrestlers who are funny, but we're not comedy wrestlers. And
Gotcha.
that's
Yeah.
sometimes promoters put me in these matches where they want me to do comedy, and it's like, well, I don't really, I
Yeah.
can like have a real match. The whole bit is like me becoming serious within the match
Right.
because I can't, you know.
Yeah, I do. It's like I just watched here in AEW, Orange Cassidy. He's
Yeah,
I guess he would be considered. I don't even like to use the term, but I guess he would be considered a comedy wrestler. But the whole part of the match is when is he gonna break that little gimmick, show actually how good he is and whatnot. But
yeah.
you mentioned Megabyte Ronnie. We had him on the show here. You two, first of all, Hot and Dog.
Hog and Dog.
Hog and Dog.
Hog and
Hog and
Dog.
Dog. That's better because when I say hot dog, all I think of is Ronnie, Megabyte Ronnie eating them, a lot of them, and that
Yeah.
just gives bad images. Not that, whatever. Hog and Dog, great stuff. That seems like a match made in heaven. Like,
Yeah.
how did the Mega Powers? Like, how did that even come about?
That really just came about through Twitter and stuff
Nice.
because fans mentioned to Ronnie that like, hey, you kind of Matt Brannigan and you kind of have like a similar vibe.
Yeah.
Fans have mentioned that to me, and then I think some fans I think me and Ronnie might have interacted on Twitter or something, but I remember there were fans who were like excited about it, clamoring for it a little bit. Fans even named the team Hog and Dog.
That's even
We had the
better.
name probably like a year before we even like teamed up. Maybe not a full year, but
Yeah.
it was floating around for a while, and then Black Label made it happen. But yeah, it was kind of just a fan driven thing of people like, hey, you guys are buff, tan, mustache, like fun little guys,
Fun guys, yeah.
You guys should meet up. And we DM'd, and now me and Ronnie are good pals. He's one of my best pals, even outside of wrestling. He's
Yeah.
just one of my best pals.
Yeah, he seems like a great human, for sure.
Yeah, he's the best.
You mentioned Black Label Pro. I'd be remiss if I didn't insert a plug here with Fancy Wrestling 2 coming up June 3rd.
Fancy.
Yeah, Fancy Wrestling 2. I was really good with that. That was smooth. I don't actually know who you're wrestling on that show. But
I am wrestling. They just announced it yesterday, I believe. I'm wrestling Trevor Outlaw.
oh, that's right. We had him on
Yeah.
too. That piece of shit.
Everyone hates him. I don't
Yeah.
know him that well. I'm like, oh, he seems cool, but everyone tells me he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
so I
he's
guess
a
I got to
piece-
go in there
yeah.
and grab his nipple.
Yeah, great. How effective is the purple nurple?
Sometimes it's very effective, and then sometimes you run into a guy like Jake something who he just wants no part of it. He's not gonna do much.
Stay away
There's
from
been a
it.
few people I do it to, and I'm like, this was a mistake.
What about the sack tap? Is that good at neutralizing your opponents?
That works better. Yeah, That's my last resort. If I can't get him on the nipples, if I can't get him on a butt slap, if I can't get him with just wrestling moves, I'm gonna sack tap him.
A good solid sack tap will take someone right down to their knee instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Ric Flair eye poke. Yep. Except it's a
exactly
yeah.
the
Boom.
neutralizer. Yeah,
Take him right out for sure. I'm gonna roll back the clock a little bit. Your brother introduced you to wrestling. You're from Ohio, correct?
yeah.
So OVW
Correct.
was the developmental area then. Did you go to those shows? Did you hit the indie circuit around then to suck you in?
Yeah, I actually was going to tons of indie shows growing up. I was more of an indie fan
Then
as a kid than a
Nice.
WWE fan. But in my day, OVW I think was around, but HWA was what I was going to when I was really young.
Okay.
And I did catch them OVWs, but HWA was like the thing that I was really going to like at least once a week as a fan. Because they had Tuesday shows, and then they had like once a month weekend shows, I think. And then I was going to Ring of Honor shows when that first started too.
Yeah.
My brother would just drive me everywhere, so I was in Chikara shows. I was kind of all over from like Chicago to Boston. Like we were just do these like wrestling road trips all the time. So I got to see a lot of crazy stuff.
How old
at a
are?
young age.
How old is your brother? Older than you is your brother?
Yeah, he's like 6 years older than me.
6. Cool. Nice.
Yeah,
So he's probably doing the tape trading thing back then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. For
yeah. I
sure.
remember he would show me like in the same night. He'd be like, "All right, here's WrestleMania 9. Check out Hogan and Warrior." I'm like, "Sweet." He goes, "All right, here's this guy named Kobashi and Masawa. Check this out." I'm like, "This is sweet." He goes, "All right, here's like weird comedy stuff from Philadelphia on the Indies." I'm like, "Sweet, this is all good." Like,
Yeah.
I love all of it.
And that's literally what makes wrestling great, in my opinion, is that
Yeah.
they compare it to ice cream. Let's say there's a there's a flavor for everyone.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, for real. Like a good show, especially. I think the early Ring of Honor shows were like perfect cards because there was just so much variety. Every match was so different of like styles of wrestlers and characters and just the gimmicks of the matches. There was like no way anyone could go to one of those shows the first like 3 years, especially maybe five, but and not have a blast. Like my, I think we took my dad to some. My dad doesn't, he didn't care about indie wrestling, but even he loves that stuff. He remembers Kenta. I think he saw Kenta in Dayton with us
wow,
one time. He remembers Kenta like to this day.
that's
Remembers
insane.
Nigel McGuinness, like all this
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
that was back in the glory days. Oh my god.
yeah, it was crazy.
The chat is having a debate right now here live on the chat is debating what you're drinking.
Oh, what are they debating? Any guesses in there?
Somebody said a mimosa, and somebody else said a screwdriver.
Okay. Uh, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you what it exactly is, and you can tell me which way it's leaning
Okay.
between. It's probably closer to screwdriver. It is an ice drink, which is a flavored water.
Yep.
It's a mango orange flavor.
Yeah, my wife
It
drinks
has, a,
those.
it has a little bit of vodka in there too.
Leaning towards, I think that leans towards the screwdriver.
Screwdriver?
I think so.
Or a white trash mimosa.
White trash mimosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those ice drinks. Yeah, I know those ice drinks. My wife drinks those, and she does the same thing.
They're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. She does the same thing. Last weekend, she did that. Yeah, more merrier, right? Let's have some fun.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, so that got you. So what was that aha moment where you're like, well, yeah, fuck, I can do this. I can do this stuff that they're doing in the ring. What made you want to actually go and train at Rockstar Pro in Dayton? What was that, John?
Well, me and my brother used to just wrestle in our basement all the time, and we'd like write these crazy storylines. It actually even became we had fans that would come to it, not a lot, like 3 to 6 fans.
I get it.
Once a month, and I had these awesome story-driven shows because like we can't really wrestle, so the matches would be like nothing, but the storylines were all good. But
the build-up.
My brother at some point started training at HWA when I was finishing high school, probably, and he trained with Cody Hawk there a little bit because they had like a fan contest. Do you know who Alan Wassilishin is?
I do not.
Oh, he's just a Ohio wrestler guy, but he did this contest with my brother. He won the contest, and my brother came in second, but they let him keep training for free. And that was my moment of like, oh shit, you can just like wrestle, like you can just do it. So then when I was like 19, I just was like, oh, I'll just look up like where's that Cody Hawk guy? And I'm like, oh, here he is. And I just went and did it. But yeah, I had my brother pave the way with the training, with the tapes, with taking me to shows. So I feel like I had a very unfair advantage of being exposed to really good wrestling.
Yeah.
Probably well before I should have. Just being able to go to the shows and find the trainer and everything. So it was all teed up for me.
Did your brother did he do it for a while? Did he stick with it or give it up or what?
No, he gave it up for a bit because he was in college and he wasn't having too much fun with training.
Right.
He likes writing shows. Actually, if he put on shows, that'd be really good. He's actually a really good writer. But he started doing commentary at Rockstar after I started wrestling. So we kind of got to he did some ring announcing too.
Nice.
So he was around for a few years doing that.
Awesome. So Cody Hawk was your trainer there at Rockstar Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I learned that you did some training in Japan. So
yeah,
what was yeah, what was the motivation behind that to go there?
It sort of just happened. I was in Japan
Okay.
uh, on a trip. My friend was in the Air Force, and he was in Okinawa, and we're like, hey, I'm gonna come out there. Let's just hang out. I have the money to burn. Let's just do it, man. So we're hanging out there for a few weeks. I had messaged wrestling promotions when I was there. I sent out emails hey, this would be cool. Like maybe they'll just let me wrestle or something. Obviously they won't, but
Right.
I got to try it. Why not?
Yeah.
I sent out emails to like a few places, and then and nothing really happened. I was like, whatever. I did the trip, flew home, and like the day I got home, uh, Wrestle One emailed me back, and I had sent the email like, hey, I'm in Japan. If anyone just any opportunities or like some training, whatever. And they were like, yeah, if you're here, just come on by. And I'm back in Ohio at this point, so I just pulled all the money I had, and I was like, all right, I'm flying back to Tokyo like as soon as possible. So I just told them like, yeah, I'll be right there. I just flew back to Japan, and then trained there for like a month or
Yeah.
something. I can't remember. But yeah, that was fun. But that was like right before Wrestle One shut down, so there wasn't really a lot going on. They shut down like right when I left, but it was still fun. I had a blast.
Um, as you were talking, we just got, because we're live, we do our shows live here on Twitch. We just got raided by independent wrestler BMD. He's up in Canada. He was watching a hockey game. My assumption is Toronto won, so I guess that's good. But so they're all here. So big shout out to them for coming in. But the first person that came in the chat said, "Oh boy, we raided some eye candy. They're swooning over you with your robe and your luscious hair and your mustache. They're loving it right now."
Good. I do it so people will love it. So that's good.
Do you prefer? I mean, you play a heel. Your character is heelish. Do you prefer a heel or face?
Actually, I've been. I think I'm kind of a heel in promos, but I've been a babyface most of the shows I do, especially the last like year or so. But I'm kind of a tweener. I see myself as a face. I think that's what I'm good at, and I think a lot of wrestlers are better at being a heel because it's easier. And I think what sets me apart is I'm a really good guy. But I can also like have those moments where I do the stack tap, get a negative reaction. I can kind of play it off a little bit, and I can always win people back over, even if I kind of lose them for a bit. Because I can be kind of a dick sometimes.
But that's okay.
When it's good guy versus good guy, I think I kind of end up being a bit of a dick. But people always like me by the end of it, which is that's the goal. So I can kind of fall into bad guy territory and always bring it back.
Well, you can be a dick to Trevor Outlaw at Fancy Wrestling.
Oh, I will. I see myself as Bugs Bunny, and those few episodes where Bugs Bunny's like a dick, like the tortoise and the hare one, or like the one with the Kremlin. Sometimes he's just a dick, or he's just a dick to Daffy, like uncalled for. So
Not
that's kind of what I
necessary.
try to do.
Not necessary at all.
Just uncalled.
Is Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny the greatest heel face pairing of all time?
Yes, it is. I used to straight up, when I was a bad guy, I'm like, all right, I'm Yosemite Sam tonight. I used to tell people like, my character is, if I'm a face, I'm Bugs Bunny. If I'm a heel, I'm Yosemite Sam. But now I just try to do a little bit of both all the time. But Yosemite Sam is he's a classic.
We mentioned Megabyte Ronnie earlier. Hog and Dog is your tag team match made in heaven. The Mega Powers. Do you prefer singles or tag wrestling? What's your flavor? What are you feeling?
I've always been a singles guy,
right?
Though I am having a blast teaming with Ronnie. It's kind of at this point, I think I'm happier doing the tag with Ronnie. I would prefer those bookings to singles pretty much any day of the week. Though we still have a lot to kind of work out as a tag team, but I have a lot of fun with them. I think our creative energy is really good together. Our promos together are really good. I think we just have a nice thing going, we gotta perfect it.
Well, yeah, you guys are still new, still young in the tag world.
Yes, young in the tag world, old in the regular world, but still.
But you guys look phenomenal.
Yeah. We look good, right? He's huge, man. He's so jacked. It's crazy.
Yeah, he is. When we had him on, I think I was so interested in the professional eating aspect.
Mhm.
I couldn't. I was my mind was blown. My mind was fucking blown.
He's a monster, man. Like he puts that shit away, like
I can't.
food,
I can't
the
do that.
weights he lifts. He's just like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always like I don't know. Usually when I'm on a show, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be like the most in shape guy in the show, or
Right.
one of them.
And
And
here
next
you
to
go.
Ronnie, he just like
Yeah.
dwarfs me. Sucks. So
Uh,
I'm just trying to get huge all the time. I'm eating more than I've ever eaten. I'm just trying to catch up to him.
well, it's probably the influence. He's probably has a nice positive influence on you on what to eat,
He
what to
does.
do.
He does. He is very positive. He's a
Yeah.
very positive person.
Yeah. You talked about booking earlier. You have the greatest booking strategy I've ever heard. And you have to tell me your where this concept came from or what made you think of it. But you'll just go to a show. You're not booked on it. You'll go to the show. You'll go and you'll stand and you'll take your shirt off and you'll just stand there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't help set up. I won't do anything. I'll just stand by the ring, or I'll get in the ring and I'll just
With your shirt off, just standing there.
Yeah. When I moved to California, and it was just like, all right, how do I get in? I don't know anyone here. That's when I really started doing it. I went to a few shows and it was like, all right, no one really like, you try to talk to people and it's like, I don't know anybody. You don't have any ins. So then I, just popped the shirt off. I'm like, this worked in Ohio one time. So let's test it out again. And it actually works. People come up like, "Are you a worker?" And you go, "Yeah, I'm a worker." Like, "You booked?" I'm like, "No, I'm just hanging out. Just showing face, showing abs."
See ya.
Yeah, they just go like, "Yeah, you look all right. You want a match?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh, okay, one. I think I have my gear. Rip your clothes off. Your trunk on underneath. Oh, here it is." But yeah, that's really all it came from. Is just like a last ditch effort of like I remember thinking to myself, like, if they saw how buff I was, they'd want to book me. And I'm like, well, I'm just a shirt away from them seeing.
Right.
So let's just pop this bad boy up. That's where it came from, and it worked surprisingly well. I should probably go back to doing that because I haven't done that in a while.
I would assume it works better in Ohio than you're out in California now, right?
I'm actually in Indiana.
Oh,
now.
Indiana. Oh,
I recently got here. Yeah.
okay. So Ohio, California, back to Indy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
But yeah, you would think the wrestlers in California would be like in better shape just because it's California, but it was they're all pretty much the same. Like I was still like a buffer guy on the show, so I was like, all right, here we go. Though there were some like super jack dudes. I don't know if you know who like Beef Candy is. Like this guy named Flex McCallion and Richie Slade.
No.
They're pretty dope, especially Flex. He's enormous.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. And he's a guy you should get on this sometime. He's insane.
What's his name again?
His name's Flex McCallion.
Flex McCallion.
He's only on Instagram. He's not on Twitter. He won't do it.
Yeah.
But he's like if some energy drink like became a person. That's all it is. It's just like
Monster
nonstop.
Energy grew arms and legs.
Yeah, grew giant arms and giant legs.
Yeah, I mean, people are just dropping your links in the chat, your pro wrestling tees, your Twitter, your all that stuff. I have an automated command that goes off, but my fucking Twitter shit or Twitch shit is not working at the right moment. I also thought of another thing. So you and Megabyte Ronnie, a tag team, look great. Perfect pairing to me. Perfect pairing. Another perfect pairing is this tag team called the Outrunners. Do you know of those guys?
Oh yeah, I know the Outrunners. Yeah,
yeah. Have you guys haven't been in the ring with each other yet?
We have not, and I feel like it was coming at this promotion called New Wave Pro.
Oh yeah,
New Wave just like shut down.
Yeah,
and so I'm pretty bummed because I think that match was going to happen probably this summer.
Yeah,
but hopefully we can get it somewhere else because I think that's like just perfect like character work, good like I don't know some good '80s stuff, some good. It would just be good. Those guys are cool as shit.
Yeah,
and I really hope that match happens.
It's very, and I don't know what's going to come of it, but it is very unfortunate that the fact that Nick Aldis was too scared to wrestle you, that New Wave had to shut down, and I feel bad.
I'm not I'm not surprised. He got off a plane
Right.
from the UK. He was flying for like 15 hours. As soon as he lands, he checks his phone. All he sees is people talking about his nipples. He's
Yeah.
like, "What the hell's going on?
Right.
I can't. I'm a serious wrestler. I wrestle for the Smashing Pumpkins guy. I I cannot believe this guy won't stop talking about my nipples. And now he's falling asleep during my matches in a promo. Like, fuck this. I think he shut down all of New Wave. I'm just going to say it. I think Nick Aldis walked into Terre Haute, Indiana. Just
I wouldn't be
just burned the
surprised.
building down.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Those you got to watch those English people, man. They're crazy.
We had him on the show once. He was also drinking something that night too, but we never asked him.
Was he cool? Was he a cool guy?
It was cool. It was a good interview. He'll never come back on again. We're convinced of it because I asked him some things. Because at that time that we had him on, his wife Mickey, there were some things said by Bruce Pritchard, and we brought those up, and yeah, he won't be on it again. But it was good. It was good.
You're not missing much. I can't imagine he's like a super entertaining interview. He probably just kind of goes through it. But I'm not trying to shit on him either. But
he talks a lot, and that makes a great guest, in my opinion. Just throw out a question and let him fucking talk I was told not to. I was told not to ask these certain questions to him, but there are times I just don't listen. And
hard hitting journalism.
That's what we fucking people wanted to know. The people wanted to know.
You can at least ask. He doesn't have to answer.
He didn't have to answer. But you never know. Maybe he'll come back on. He's back in Impact, I guess.
I was excited to work with him. I don't know. I was wondering if he'd be a dick. I was actually hoping he would be a dick and not like me. And I was really excited to have like a 30-minute like improvised match with him. I was hoping for that. I was like, I hope I rub him the wrong way immediately. And he goes, yeah, I'll be out there. And I was like, sweet, man. And I was grab his nipples over and over again.
Let's be honest. There's no way he wanted you to grab his nipples, right?
He couldn't stop me if he tried.
Okay.
I'd rather grab his nipples. He came to me and he's like, hey, man, if you don't grab my nipples, I'll get you a contract to Impact. I'd be like, fuck you. I'm grabbing your nipples. And wipe my ass with a contract, grab his nipples. Because it's about principles. And that's my principle. I have to do it.
Would you have ball tapped him? Sack tap?
If I had to. If he was getting a little out of hand, a little squirrely on me, he was covering his nipples, I'd just sack tap him. Hands go down there, then you get the nipples.
Don't leave yourself open, right?
Yeah, you can't protect yourself. There's not enough hands to stop me from hitting my offense. Nipples, butt, balls, dick, you can't stop.
Are you a clone? Do you have a clone?
I have a clone, yes, I do. Matt Brannigan is his name. He's just like me in every way, and he's a fucking piece of shit. I hate him.
Matt Brannigan. Vanessa, Matt Brannigan. You're going to have to get him on as well.
Yeah, get him. He looks a lot like me. He just wears a beanie and he cusses more. But, yeah. But he's good. He's a good interview. I think he's been interviewed one time on some random thing.
I'm watching AEW tonight as well.
Yeah.
And you were on AEW Dark and Elevation, or Dark Elevation, whatever it was called. Rest in peace to those shows, because I think they're either done or something. I don't know.
I guess they're done.
I guess so. Who knows?
I have no idea.
A lot of stuff happening.
I saw everyone posting their like dark pics, and I was like, "Why are we doing this?"
Right.
Like I saw it all day, and I texted Ronnie like, "Hey, why'd you post that?" And he goes, "Dark is done." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm so out of the loop all the time.
Well, my sources are telling me they got a new show coming out. It's gonna be on Saturday nights. Rampage is gonna be the new Dark, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe.
I figured like it's just the name that's gone, but there's still going to be plenty of opportunity.
Right.
I feel like many wrestlers are worried about losing spots, and it's like that's not much of a spot anyway. I'm not trying to be a dick, but
no. Well, we've had a lot of people on here that have been on those, and they're not really spots for the most part, but it is TV time, I guess.
Yeah, I actually like. I think you're going to probably ask me about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I hate standing around all day.
Oh yeah, and I've heard it's long.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. So I think I did it. I was an extra there 3 times, and one time I got there and I couldn't find the check-in area. So I got there like right on time, and it took me like an hour to get checked in. So that by the time I got checked in, I saw them like filling out the AEW Dark like card, and I'm like, "There's no way I'm getting on the card. They don't even know that I'm fucking here." So I remember being really mad, like I'm gonna have to stand around all day and not get a match. That's what happened, and I was mad just because I hate standing around. You know, I drank so much coffee, I was ready to wrestle, and now I have to
Yeah.
stand around, pee my pants in front of everybody.
But you haven't been on. You and Megabyte haven't been on together, right? Hog and Dog haven't
No, we
been on.
haven't.
No,
We have not.
that's gotta
There's
happen.
no way they would let us go by that name.
See, I disagree.
But
Yeah, no, they probably wouldn't. You're right. They wouldn't.
no, there's no way.
No.
They would probably do Hot and Dog or whatever.
Yeah, whatever I
The
messed up with.
typo.
Yeah.
But you're not. But Fightful called us that, so I don't. It's not on you. It was published
Oh, okay.
incorrectly.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
it is hot. No, but I saw You're right. It was published like that, but I did see the promo, the video you did on Twitter, and I remember reading Hog and Dog.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that when Megabyte was in the promo in the video as well. I do remember seeing that.
Yeah.
So
It was before we. I think we'd even done a promo. Someone got hot. They said Hot and Dog. It was Fightful or somebody. I remember it was no, god damn it.
one of those shitty wrestling content creators.
Yeah.
Probably Sean
Yeah,
Ross Sapp fucked it up. You had to pay $4.99 to get the correct name.
That's a good racket. Report on people, but like get it all fucked up. Like, hey, if you want me to fix it,
Hey, you want to know? You want to know what Matt Brannigan did backstage? $4.99.
yeah, man. I should say something positive about Dark. I feel like I just shit on it, but it's doing AEW Dark is cool. It's a good experience. I'm not just complaining
Right.
about standing around. It was nice.
Yeah.
I just see. I feel like I've done enough Darks now. I think I'm ready with Ronnie to debut at the end of a pay-per-view at AEW, and they should just bring us out.
Just bring you on.
Dude,
Just-
I have such a good idea for how they should actually. Me and Ronnie were joking around one time. We came up with this bit. It would be for any promotion to bring us in. If
Okay.
they wanted to introduce us with vignettes.
Yeah.
And the whole bit would be that we're caterers. It's like a Three Stooges skit. Only there's 2 of us. And we're shitty caterers who keep eating all the food. So I'm there, I'm scheming about how we're going to get a contract, and Ronnie just keeps eating everything. And then eventually, after we do enough of those, Ronnie ends up eating like the wrong guy's food. But off the top of my head, let's say it's the Outrunners, right?
Yeah.
So they're getting their food from catering, and he's like eating, talking to me, and he grabs food off their plate. And then it becomes like, you can't eat my Danish. I'll see you in the ring. And then that's how we come out as the caterers, and they don't even have gear or anything. And that's how we debut.
You're just
Where
like
I'm kind of like I'm like the loudmouth small one.
Yeah.
It's
I can
like
see it.
It's like the George and Lenny bit from Looney Tunes. That's,
Yeah.
that's what we try to do.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I would debut us.
That is interesting. I'm trying to think who in AEW, whose food could you eat that they'd be pissed.
I feel like anyone who's just a dick, it doesn't have to be a food related guy.
Yeah.
It could be someone like Matt Menard or someone who gets fired up for it, you know? It
Yeah.
could be anybody. And any asshole would do. That's my philosophy on life. Any asshole will do.
Any asshole will do. That's good. It's a good philosophy to have, actually.
Put it on a bumper sticker. Slap it on a pickup truck. We're rocking.
What's Clickfeld?
Clickfeld is one of my cliques. It's my Indiana clique.
Okay.
It's me, Eric Dillinger, deathmatch superstar, Nate Matthews, and Aaron Atlas.
Okay.
And we all just became pals out of pure happenstance. Probably 2 years ago now, something like that. But yeah, we just like got along. I wrestled Aaron at New Wave the first time I did New Wave right before the pandemic. And then when the pandemic ended, I was texting Aaron a bunch. We were just keeping in touch. He talked about this guy, Nate Matthews, a lot. And when the pandemic ended, I ended up wrestling Nate and Eric in a triple threat match at AWR in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And we just hit it off. And then Aaron was on that show too. And we're like, Like, yeah, we got a nice thing here. We're all getting along. Uh, we started joking about Seinfeld, and then we just decided to make fun of people's stupid clicks and click name on the indies, and we were like, we should call it Clickfeld. It's a click about nothing, and we'll pretend that it's a real click just to bother people, you know.
Yeah,
And yeah,
it's
it's
fun.
just it's just us palling around being silly.
Yeah, check it out. Go to YouTube. I think there's some playlists, the Clickfeld
Oh yeah, I
promos.
did it. I had like the compilation, of the first seven.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. The car promos is the first one. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's how it all started. Was the famous car promo.
Yeah.
That's what created Blickfeld. After that, we kind of just kept doing the bit because I was just doing it in retaliation
Right.
to Nate, and then it just took off.
And I think it was Nate. Nate's like does the car promo first, and he's like, "Oh, here's another indie guy doing a car promo." He goes, "I should just turn my phone in horizontal or vertical," and I just start
Yeah,
laughing because I was like, "I hate when people do that." And then I was like, "Wait,
yeah,
I know Matt's gonna be vertical tonight because I already set up all the screens." Oh man, it was just good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff all around.
good shit.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're a phenomenal human being. First of all, you're easy to talk to.
Thank you.
But we love to leave the door open. So I'm gonna wrap the show up here. But I do have some non/slash wrestling related questions to ask you, and then I'm gonna give you the mic, and you can put over anything you want, say anything you want. I'll let you know.
Good.
All right, so here we go. So my first thing is, what was your rapper name?
I actually have like a million rapper names. That was like kind of that was the bit, was that it changed like every song. Uh, and then
Funny.
I'd have it in the intro. I'd be like, "Yo, it's your boy this, formerly known as that, aka this," and I just make up more names that would never be used. Like, so it was just nonstop. I think my most popular one was Mastodon to Mastodon. So I was a master level Don as well as being
A
a Mastodon.
mastodon. Oh man, can we hear
Yeah, I
any
think
of
that,
your music anywhere?
I think I have some stuff floating on Bandcamp. I was actually going to release a bunch of old stuff.
Yeah, you should.
If people ask about it, I just make it. You know, I never really cared about it. You know, it was just like a fun hobby. But the few wrestlers who have heard stuff like it, so I might just throw it out there. And then you hear some of the beats and stuff in my promos, like all the music in my promos is stuff that I make.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it's all just like either it's like a rock band that I used to be in, or rap beats that I've made, or something. I'll just sprinkle them in there.
Why not, right?
Too
Um,
hot.
why is fall the best season in Cincinnati?
Did I say that at some point, or
You
is that
did.
true?
Yeah, you said that.
In Cincinnati?
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't remember why I said it. It's probably a lot
I
of times I
I,
just
I think you said because yeah, Cincinnati's in Ohio. I think you said
yeah,
the seasons in Ohio are very extreme. So
they are. Yeah,
I'm assuming summer's really hot, winter's
I
really
guess.
cold. So
Yeah,
you said
okay, that makes
fall.
sense. Yeah, the falls are pretty mild, and you can wear flannels. But yeah, the winters can be rough. The springs, I have allergies, so spring's out for me.
Yeah, me
And then
too.
summer could be brutal. Though this last year in Ohio and here in Indiana, it's been pretty tame, actually. So I
How's your
might have to
allergies now?
revise that. Allergies aren't that bad, but just like it didn't snow really.
Yeah.
The winter was whatever. The spring's been whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I might have to come back to this question. I'll let you know.
Let me know. Get back to me on that one. All right, and then and then my last one, and then I'll give you the mic. Why do you have a tattoo of Milhouse's dad from The Simpsons?
uh, why not? I just like that episode. To go back to the music question,
Yeah.
Milhouse's dad was just he made that shitty album. He put his whole fucking future into this horrible song that he made,
Yep.
and that's how I felt during when I was making a lot of music, and I was in a dark place when I got that tattoo. I was like, I'm like Milhouse's dad. I'm like chasing this stupid hobby. So that's kind of where it came from. It was me shitting on myself for wasting a lot of time making music.
Classic.
That's
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, sir, what we do at the end of every show is I give the mic to the guests. You can say anything you want. You can put anyone over. You can bury anybody. You can plug anything you want. I'm not going to interrupt, and the floor is yours.
All right. Well, put over Megabyte Ronnie right out the gate. Megabyte Ronnie's the man. So I'm putting him over. In terms of other things to put over, I don't know. Follow me on Twitter, Matt_Brannigan. Subscribe to my OnlyFans, Matt_Brannigan. Buy a shirt on PWTs. Look up Matt Brannigan. I have merch. You can just DM me on Twitter. I'll send you merch. What else can I put over? I had a few in my mind and I forgot them. I'm going to put over Svedka brand vodka. It's the best shitty vodka in the world. Well, I had a good one. What was it? Hold on, I got it. I want to put over something good. Oh, I can bury someone. Who do I want to bury?
Who should we bury?
You want me to bury you? Oh, what are you pointing at? Oh, sorry, my girlfriend's here. I'm going to put her over. Candace Dare. She's my baby. She's cool. I thought you wanted me to bury her. I was like, I'm not going to bury you. I got some shows coming up. I'll put those over.
Yep.
This Saturday, Columbus, Ohio. Ohio Wrestling Alliance? OWA. Let's go with the initials. Me and Marion Fontaine are teaming up to take on Natter Day Saints. That's going to be very fun. It's kind of like Hog Dog, only he's like a very shrunken down Ronnie. So now we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited. I love Marion Fontaine. I'll put him over too. Let's see. The next week I'm in Brooklyn, New York on a secret show. Ooh. If you're in the area and want to go to a secret show, message me. I'll give you the flyer.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a secret. It's gonna be punk rock, wrestling, burlesque, some sexy stuff. It's gonna be nice. The next week after that, hybrid championship wrestling in Terre Haute, I think. Terre Haute, Indiana. I'm going to be wrestling. This is not even announced yet. I'm going to be wrestling Rohit.
Ooh, Rohit Raju?
Yeah. I couldn't remember the last name. I knew him as Hakeem Zane back in the day.
Yep. Friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah. I've never wrestled him before, so that's a first timer. So I'm very excited for that.
Nice.
So that'll be nice. Check that out. And then Black Label Pro the week after that, which is June 3rd. Me and Trevor Outlaw, first time ever. I'm going to bury that man. I'm going to bury him in the sand or whatever they have in Crown Point. I don't think they have sand. I think they have gravel. I'm going to bury him in the gravel.
There you go. I lied. I did have one more question.
Let's do it.
Why is your Instagram Cat Brannigan?
Matt Brannigan was taken. Matt Brannigan with an underscore was taken. I like cats. So I spelled cat with 2 T's like it was my name.
Perfect.
That's the only reason why.
Well done. Well done. Somebody's asking where's the robe. He's wearing the robe.
I'm wearing a robe.
Look at that.
Maybe they just want the one specific robe. I used to wear a variety of robes. This is my summer robe because it's getting a little warm.
It's getting hot.
Much thinner.
It's getting hot in Indiana.
It's getting hot, yeah.
Well, Matt, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll give you back to your girlfriend there. You can thank her for allowing us to have this time here tonight with you. You're welcome back anytime. Plug anything you want. Put over anything you want. You're great. You're a great human. Great to talk to.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I would love to come back anytime. I had a blast.
Awesome.
You're a good host. You're a good man.
Oh, thank you.
Let's all rock and roll.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Have yourself a glorious night. Hell yeah! Have yourself a glorious night. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
Peace. Great stuff. Great stuff with that stuff. Yeah.
I don't know how do I leave? This
I think
is
it says
terrible exit.
End meeting.
Oh, it says yeah.
There you go.
I see something that says leave. I'm just gonna. That sounds good to me.
There you go.
All right, dude.
Have a good night. Later. That guy's great.